Man, so many fond memories with these games. Man, I should ramble incoherently about these games for like an hour. Memories. Everybody has Mario Kart Memories. If you don't, get tested. I think I can muster up some personal memories regarding each and every one of these entries. There's definitely going to be some that I have more to say than others, but you know, I just kind of want to go over each of the major Mario Karts and just talk about some, you know, memories I have with them, you know. Like, what did I think of them at the time? Any stories I have to tell? All of that. Because, hey, I mean, Mario Kart is, like, one of the most social games out there. You know, each one was so much fun in the time of their release. And while I may not have had each and every one of these personally at that time, you know, I definitely would have played a couple of these at friends' houses or somewhere, who the hell knows. So without further ado, let's go over some of my Mario Kart memories, of which there are none. That's not entirely true. Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo. There's a couple little thoughts I have about this one. Well, firstly, I didn't really like have this game, or play this game until like I was really into gaming history and just checking out some old stuff. I believe the first time I actually played this game was via the Wii Virtual Console, but this was one of the very first Super Nintendo cartridges I saw in person. You know, like I realized there was this retro game store local to me, and I went in there with my dad or something like that. Like, it was something where you saw like, hey, what is this store? Let's go check it out. So I go in there and I see that they have Super Nintendo games. And honestly, even though I definitely had seen a Super Nintendo cartridge prior to that, you know, I remember my neighbor actually had a Super Nintendo and I didn't think anything of it. Like, they were playing Super Mario World on it, and I just thought like, well, I have this game on my Game Boy. You know, I had the Game Boy Advance version of that game, so that being a Super Nintendo didn't register to me at all. I didn't even know what it was. I just knew like, oh yeah, this was a game that I had. But when I was checking out this retro game store, you know, I was definitely very much interested in old Nintendo trash. I loved watching YouTube videos about retro games and all that fun garbage. And I remember just seeing this and Super Mario All-Stars, and I was thinking like, oh my god, Super Nintendo cartridges are a little smaller than I thought they would be. And I definitely considered buying them with the very limited funds that I had, even though I did not have a Super Nintendo, because I was so desperate to want to start collecting old video games. But I did not in that moment. I waited a little bit longer. I think I mainly started buying old games around 2013 or so. So this might have put me around like 2010, maybe 2011. I don't know. But yeah, trying out Super Mario Kart on the Wii Virtual Console, I didn't really give a shit. It wasn't until I actually played this game on an actual Super Nintendo that, you know, I was kind of like, you know what? This game's alright. I'm definitely not a huge stickler for like, oh, you gotta play the game on the original hardware. But with a game like Super Mario Kart, I think playing on an original Super Nintendo, you do get to kind of appreciate just how innovative this game was at the time a lot more when you're playing, you know, like on that actual hardware. When you're playing on a Wii console or like Nintendo Switch Online or whatever, you know, like, you have like a million better Mario Kart-esque options on those consoles. Playing Super Mario Kart on there isn't impressive. However, there is something oddly comforting about this game. It kind of brings me back to that era of retro gaming YouTube that I am very fond of. That 2010 through like 2015 era. Just watching some crunchy-ass top 10 videos about the best Super Nintendo games or best Mario games and seeing like really low quality footage of Super Mario Kart and being like, oh wow, that's where it all started. And then the person talking on the video is talking like this game is still like the best Mario Kart or something because they're like 40 years old and they grew up with this game. Now playing it, it's like, yeah, I never want to play Super Mario Kart ever again in my life. But as a novelty, you know, like, yeah, I think it's fun to experience. As an actual game, dear God, no. Which is kind of a similar story I have with Mario Kart 64. For a while there, this I generally consider to be what was popularly called the best Mario Kart. You know, like I think especially like before Mario Kart 8 released. Mario Kart 8 features a ton of retro tracks in the base roster of courses that are from Mario Kart 64. I remember one of the big Mario Kart 8 trailers before that game's launch really highlighted Rainbow Road from Mario Kart 64 as a returning track, kind of being like, yep, it's back, everybody. There was a ton of nostalgia for Mario Kart 64, and I definitely played into it because, yes, even though I may be 8 years old, I do have a ton of memories with Mario Kart 64. My cousins are definitely from the N64 generation. You know, they had a Nintendo 64. I remember a Nintendo 64 at my grandparents' house, and I remember like one New Year's Eve event that my family was holding at one of my aunt and uncle's houses. The cousins were all playing Mario Kart 64, and I remember giving it a go and just being told like a lot of the little secrets. For one, they were very adamant that Yoshi was the best character in this game, primarily because Yoshi is one of the faster characters, and you know, I kind of learned a lot of the tricks of Mario Kart just playing that with my cousins. Even though it wasn't a frequent thing, I'm pretty sure this only happened like once or twice. However, that's how you kind of learn, like, okay, like start the gas on the countdown, and then you get a speed boost at the very start. I think this was where I really fell in love with the concept of battle mode. Mario Kart 64's battle mode is genuinely incredible, or at least it was at the time. And honestly, just from my memories of playing this more recently, I think the last time I genuinely played Mario Kart 64 was via this Scott Stash video that we all did, where we were just dicking around playing multiplayer. And just from that experience, I do think Mario Kart 64 is at its best in battle mode. Racing? Oh my god, no. The game is so damn slippery. Like, there's no reason to drift in this game. Don't even think about it. Racing, I just feel like I have no damn control of my kart. Battle mode, though, like, I think that still holds up fairly well. You know, you gotta be a little slower, you gotta, you know, stop, turn around sometimes. It's not really about, oh, I gotta be the fastest and I gotta, like, maneuver around these tracks. Like, no, battle mode is definitely a lot more of a stop and go type game, and I feel like that works a lot better with Mario Kart 64's controls. But I will say, Mario Kart 64 actually played a huge role in some of my horrible, horrible financial decisions as a kid. This was another game I picked up on the Wii Virtual Console, and just doing that, I sold Mario Kart Wii on the Wii because I thought, well, damn, I have Mario Kart 64 on the Virtual Console. That's fine enough. I think this was also at the time that I picked up Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS, so that was like, okay, well, I have a handheld Mario Kart, and I also have a console Mario Kart with Mario Kart 64 on the Wii Virtual Console. I don't need the far superior home console Mario Kart. Always held this game in high regards just due to the few memories I had playing multiplayer in this one. You know, I still have a very deep fondness for this game, but similar to Super Mario Kart, definitely doesn't age well these days. Speaking of not aging well, guess what this does? Oh, that's right, not age well. All right, this is the first one that I really, really have some serious memories with. Mario Kart Super Circuit. It's a custom case I have here because, you know, it's special. Okay, that might be hyperbole. I do have custom cases for all my Game Boy games, so that doesn't really mean anything if a Game Boy game of mine has a custom case, for example. But I will say, this is, like, one of my most cherished childhood games. Mario Kart Super Circuit, oh my god. I have faint memories of my mom selecting this out of, like, the whatever, like one of the, like, the Target glass cases of video games, or Walmart, Toys R Us, whatever it was. I just have faint memories, and it might have been a dream, it might be me projecting memories onto this game, I don't know, but, like, god damn! Like, this game was so cool. It's the very first handheld Mario Kart game, and it is genuinely kind of a fusion between Mario Kart 64 and Super Mario Kart. It plays mostly like Super Mario Kart, but with a lot of the visual identity of Mario Kart 64. Like, the characters all look like the Mario Kart 64 character models or sprites, because they're just 2D images in Mario Kart 64, much like how they are here, which just makes this feel like such a cool home console game on the go. And back in the 2000s, that was a huge deal. Just being able to play these games that up until that point were home console only. You know, handheld games were almost always just like, hey, you know, like, you don't expect much in comparison to what you'd get on the home console. Mario Kart Super Circuit was a full-fledged Mario Kart game. Hell, it genuinely was the biggest Mario Kart up to that point. You have 20 brand new tracks in this game, and then you also have all of Super Mario Kart's tracks included. Now, I didn't realize that at the time. I didn't know what the hell a Super Mario Kart was. This, to me, was literally just Mario Kart for my Game Boy. This was such an easy road trip choice. I mean, like, do you just remember as a kid just like playing around with like options on a game menu, and like it doesn't even matter, who cares? I remember selecting the random option on the character select screen so many times, like I don't even know why. And oh my god, like, the music in this game is ingrained into my skull. With the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, when they actually brought back Snowland, and I just heard the new rendition of that song, it brought me so much joy. It just, like, so many memories flooded back. I'm like, oh my god, like, this was it, man. I felt so damn cool for owning this game, just having, like, my own Mario Kart game, because Mario Kart, for the most part, up until this point, this was kind of just like one of those games that I primarily just played at other people's house. I didn't really own any Mario Kart games, you know, this was my first. So to have my own and to have it portably, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I think at the time I still knew, like, you know, it would be cool to have, like, one of the big boy home console ones, but, you know, hey, this was awesome to have regardless. I lost this game. I remember spending the day at my aunt and uncle's house. Ironically, it was the same aunt and uncle's house that I remember playing Mario Kart 64 at. I just had to spend the day with them, and I brought my Game Boy Advance, and I had Mario Kart Super Circuit with me. And that was the last moment I ever remember playing Mario Kart Super Circuit. I also remember at that time I was biting my toenails a lot. I was a kid. So the same memory I have of losing Mario Kart Super Circuit stands side by side of the memory of me with my fucking big toe in my mouth chewing my toenail off. So there you go. That's a fun little visual. What do you think I'm more sad about? The fact that I lost Mario Kart Super Circuit, or the fact that I just told you when I was 7 years old I was biting my fucking toenails? Oh, the skeletons in my closet are finally starting to come out. This is just the tip of the iceberg, baby! When I started buying video games to kind of create a larger collection in 2013, Mario Kart Super Circuit was one of the first games that I picked up. I remember, you know, one of the first Game Boy Advance SPs that I rebought was this red one. Now look at that right here. Yeah, this was the first Game Boy Advance SP that I rebought during my little collecting splurge. And yeah, I remember this one unfortunately has like these little scuff marks next to the A and B buttons. In my head, I always remember these being worse than they actually are, but I picked this one up because the flame red GBASP was the one I had as a kid. And yeah, I remember playing a lot of Mario Kart Super Circuit on that, and just having like a backlit Game Boy and playing Mario Kart on that in the car. Oh man, that was a great combination. I don't remember being good at this game whatsoever. Was definitely one of those things that I was just happy to be there. I was happy to be pushing buttons and playing a Mario Kart type object in a car. But you know, regardless, yeah, just have a ton of memories with this combination in particular. So yeah, when I was kind of buying as many games as I could, whenever I get my paycheck, every week. This was definitely the combo that I needed. First and foremost, really. Oh man, but buddy, I wish I could say the same about this one. Mario Kart Double Dash eluded me for so many years. One of my friends had this game, and it was so fucking cool. I loved the concept of Mario Kart Double Dash. It was incredible. And of course, what do I mostly remember? The battle mode. I remember playing so much battle mode in this game at sleepovers. It was so incredible. You know what I mostly remember? It always just stuck in my mind. Okay, 2 of the maps. Pipe Plaza and the GameCube. The GameCube was so cool. Now looking back at it, it's kind of like, okay, what kind of a battle map is that? It's literally just a square. But it was so cool, and Mario Kart Double Dash was so neat how you could combine different characters. You had special items, and like, oh my god, the game looked so good. It ran so good. This made those sleepover events just like so damn exciting. Honestly, I think I was so excited to go over to play Mario Kart Double Dash. I do remember one of those sleepovers. It was a big deal that they rented Nicktoons Battle for Volcano Island. It was like, oh boy, can't wait to try out this game. I think we played that game for maybe like an hour at most, and then we just went right back to Mario Kart Double Dash. Mario Kart 64 and this game made me truly like yearn for battle mode. I really love the battle mode of Mario Kart, and I'm pretty sure this was the last time I really ever felt like that. I think I was desperately trying to like find that feeling again after this game, and I just didn't really have it. I feel like it really depends on the setting you're in with how well battle mode just socks you in the face, you know? As a kid in like 2005 playing this game at a sleepover, yeah, battle mode is the greatest thing known to man. I desperately tried to buy this game off of that same friend. I think this was like a couple of years later. I was kind of asking him, and just like, hey, listen, I'm trying to buy some old GameCube games, so I'm wondering if you'd be willing to sell me Mario Kart Double Dash. He refused. He conceded and sold me Super Mario Sunshine. So I took that. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll take that. Because I wanted Mario Sunshine, but I really fucking wanted Mario Kart Double Dash. I had such incredible memories of this game, but really, honestly, my only major experience with it was at sleepovers and at friends' houses. And I wouldn't really get to have it for myself until years later when, you know, I was buying video games again. And yeah, that was a pretty big move on my part. That felt fucking good. I finally get to own Mario Kart Double Dash by myself. And yeah, I still love Double Dash. Looking back at it, I think Double Dash is kind of in that weird little middle ground between like old school Mario Kart and like Mario Kart Wii. You know, like Mario Kart Wii introduced the whole trick system. Drifting started to feel like really tight. So, you know, like there's just this level of control I feel from like Mario Kart Wii and onwards that something like Mario Kart Double Dash just doesn't really have. It's a much looser feeling game. But that's kind of fun in its own right. You know, this is a game where it's just like, hey, just... I kind of want to play this game right now. It's a really special game. I genuinely kind of feel like years ago I would have said like, oh yeah, this is the best one. Now, I'd say this is probably like one of the more special Mario Karts. Like it's something where I'm like, yeah, this one's a special one. I wouldn't say it's the best, but I'd say it's high up there just for being very unique and just like at its core, you can tell this game has a good heart. And this one doesn't because I didn't own it. Yeah, I'm a petty bitch. Why was this the one that I didn't own? Because Mario Kart DS may be one of the best Mario Karts. Just like looking at things objectively, obviously something like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is probably, you know, like that's the easiest one to be like, yep, that's the best Mario Kart because like it has the most stuff. And, you know, like, there you go. Mario Kart DS on launch did so damn much. You know, the fact it introduced online play, the fact that it introduced retro tracks. You know, you have 16 brand new tracks in this game, and then 16 classic ones. Sure, Mario Kart Super Circuit had the 20 tracks from Super Mario Kart brought back, but, like, it's not the same. This is, like, hand-picked. Hey, like, we're bringing back 16 tracks from the older titles, and we're going to readapt them for the DS. And the fact this game has a goddamn mission mode in it, and, all right, this is one of the only major things I remember about this game when I was a kid. There's an emblem creator. You can draw things on the DS touchscreen, and then they will be your emblem on your cart. For some reason, I remember one of my friends having a DS and being just like dumbfounded by it. I'm like, what is this creature of a device? That's kind of what I remember. And I remember the fact that like, oh yeah, it's in 3D on the handheld. That's crazy. And I remember seeing the bottom screen having an overhead map of the whole race. Those are the major things I remember about this game as a kid. And upon playing this game, you know, in the modern day, you know, like when I first played this game like years back, I got kind of upset that I did not experience basically any of this game when it was new, because I had a DS, I had a portable Mario Kart with Mario Kart Super Circuit, but yeah, I never had Mario Kart DS, probably because by the time I could have asked for Mario Kart DS, Mario Kart Wii kind of hit the scene, so I was already just asking for that. God damn, I should have asked for this game. It is still so impressive. It's so cool. They're doing so much stuff in this game. The fact that it had the mission mode. It had all these characters. You had fucking Rob in the game. What the hell? Okay. Might as well just talk about this game that I did own. And yeah, like it was so cool that, you know, I did get Mario Kart Wii. So there, you know, I have to give myself that. And I hated this game. This guy and me have had quite a tumultuous history. Mario Kart Wii, when it was first coming out, my God, this seemed like it was gonna be the coolest damn thing ever. I mean, the Wii console itself was like super hot at the time. You couldn't find that thing anywhere. I remember me and my parents, we'd go into Targets, GameStops, whatever, and just for fun, just ask them, do you have a Wii? And like right after you said the word do, the employee pretty much always knew you were gonna ask them, do you have any Wiis? And they just immediately go like, no. Like, you know, oh yeah, we might have gotten some in like earlier today, but they were gone instantly. And that kind of hot in demand action definitely kind of spread to some of the Wii's bigger games, most notably a lot of the games that came bundled with accessories. I remember Wii Fit was very similar to the Wii in that regard. Like, it was really hard to get Wii Fit packed in with the balance board. And Mario Kart Wii was the same because it came bundled with the Wii wheel, and that was like this crazy fun marketing gimmick right there. As a kid playing the Wii back then, I just really wanted to experience a lot of fun things that you could mimic with the Wii remote like fairly well. Like, you know, the shooting gallery in Wii Play. It was like, oh, the Wii remote's a gun. And then, you know, you also have billiards in that game, and just the entirety of Wii Sports just put you in the action of those sports with the Wii remote. It felt pretty real, and the thought of this driving game, and not only it being a driving game, but Mario Kart putting the Wii remote in a wheel and giving you just these steering capabilities with the remote, it was too cool to pass up. So on one hand, it was a new Mario Kart, and that was a big deal. On the other, it had this fancy motion control gimmick that kind of made it the apple of a lot of silly little kids' eyes like myself. Damn, I really wanted this game. And actually, the way I ended up getting it was in the summer of 2008, you know, I saved up enough money, and I just saw like a review on like IGN or something for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And I thought to myself, like, oh my God, that's what I want. Like, that game looks incredible. All the content in that game, and you know, you could beat up fucking Pikachu. That was cool. So I had just enough money for Smash Brothers Brawl. $50, that was the going rate of these big new Wii games at the time. So I walk into Target, and of course they had one copy of Mario Kart Wii on the shelf. God damn it. I definitely wanted Smash Brothers Brawl, but Mario Kart was right there, and Mario Kart was really hard to find. So, you know, I made a deal with my mom. She bought Mario Kart there, but I had to wait until Christmas to open up the game, and I used my money to buy Smash Brothers Brawl in that moment, and I think that made the most sense. Looking back, that's how I think that should have gone. I got so much mileage out of Smash Brothers Brawl. I adored that game. I thought it was so cool. There was just an infinite amount of content to play with there. Mario Kart, I mean, we're about to hear. Yeah, this was kind of a love it and hate it kind of game for me. Those next few months were agonizing. I mean, like, you know, okay. I'm kind of hyperbolizing things a bit here. It was great to know I secured the game, but the fact I had to wait basically half a year to play it was crazy. Just always on my mind, like at some point I'm gonna be able to play Mario Kart Wii, and I actually was able to open it up like a day early, like December 23rd, 24th. I think I had a friend over one of those days, and my mom gave me like the go-ahead. She was like, all right, like, you know what, you can open up Mario Kart early. So I did that, and I played Mario Kart with my friend, and I liked it, but man, was I not very good at it. I actually have a very distinct memory of playing this game earlier. Like, this was in the summer of 2008, before I even saw it at Target. I remember this was a cool teacher, and he brought his Wii and Mario Kart into the classroom on like one of the last days of school, and hooked it up to like the projector, and we were all playing Mario Kart on the projector for like 30 minutes or so. That was pretty dang cool. And I remember like being kind of confused by some of the options. You know, there's an option in this game for like automatic or manual drifting. And I always thought to myself, well, surely automatic. I don't want to have to do things myself. I think I was most excited to play battle mode again. And unfortunately, Mario Kart Wii's battle mode kind of started that annoying trend that Mario Kart Battle Mode kind of adhered to from here on out, and that's the fact that battle mode is like timed, and in this game you're on teams, and that just took a lot of the fun out of it for me. I love the battle royale aspect of battle mode in Mario Kart 64 and Double Dash, and here, you know, I think they definitely wanted to make it so then like, oh, you know, everybody is playing at the same time, and there's not really any downtime. It's constant action going on all at once. There's a lot more people in a match, and they probably also did that to make it more online friendly. You know, you get more people in a room, and it's more chaotic. But I just didn't really click with it really all too much. Looking back now, I can definitely appreciate it. You know, I think I just kind of had like these super high expectations for battle mode. Like, oh, I better feel the same way I felt when I played Double Dash or something. And it's something different. I still don't think Mario Kart Wii's battle mode is as fun as Double Dashes or 64's in the right context. But I think it's completely enjoyable, like, looking at it in a vacuum. I mean, on top of the fact, like, there are a ton of battle maps in this game. I think there's, like, 10? That is so many. Now, not all of them are these incredible winners or anything, but it is really, really cool how much stuff there is with battle mode. You have balloon battle and coin runners, and you could play it online, which, you know, that's a big deal. And Mario Kart Wii, you know, like, in the moment, I don't think I appreciated it that much. I remember looking at the graphics of this game and thinking, like, wow, this looks worse than Mario Kart Double Dash. And I still kind of agree with that, but I do think the moment-to-moment gameplay in this, I mean, like, there's a reason why Mario Kart Wii is still played to this day competitively. It's like the most competitive Mario Kart game to this day because it is so frantic and fun, yet it is still very skill-based. A lot of previous Mario Kart games, they feel a little too loose to get a ton out of them competitively, in my opinion. This game, this is kind of where that modern Mario Kart feel really started. Like, playing Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart 8, you can go right back to Mario Kart Wii, and it's just like, yeah, this feels pretty similar. But that's just the thing, man. This game is mean. The item balance is so chaotic in this game, but that's kind of what makes it fun, though at the time of its release, being a much more emotional little baby boy who couldn't handle a video game being difficult. I think I remember it being like on Dry Ruins. I think that was where I said, this is dumb. I just remember having a bad time on that stage. I was not doing well, and that's in the exact same cup as Rainbow Road. probably one of the hardest rainbow roads in the whole franchise is Mario Kart Wii's Rainbow Road. One of the coolest things for me was unlocking Rosalina in this game because I had Mario Galaxy save file on my Wii, and if you have a Mario Galaxy save file, you can unlock Rosalina fairly early on. Rosalina can be unlocked via other means, but that's kind of like a cute little thing you can do to unlock her a little more easily. And I remember thinking as a kid, I was being such a smartass. Of course, I only really shared this with myself, so, you know, like, how much of a smartass am I being there? But, you know, I was a smartass. And was like, oh, Mario Kart Wii is a $100 game. You have to buy Mario Galaxy and Mario Kart Wii. Or, like, Rosalina is a $50 character. That's wild, but I have her, so that makes me special. Just like, no. Remember, it was cool as hell. You could play as your Mii in this game. You know, again, you know, like, the idea of having yourself in this game. I mean, not only is it kind of cool, like, oh, wow, I'm in the Mario game, but also just, you know, like, hey, like a big selling point of Mario Kart Wii was like, oh, man, it's kind of realistic. You know, you're using a wheel. And on top of that, you yourself are in the game. I just thought, like, those two things, I'm like, those are massive selling points to Child Scott. Oh, wow, it's more realistic and I'm there? These days, Mario Kart Wii is one of my favorite ones to go back to just because of how chaotic it is, and it still feels like modern Mario Kart, so it is very easy to just jump right back into and use kind of the skills that you know of from Mario Kart 7, 8, World, and just apply that knowledge to playing this game. You know, it is all different. These games all feel a bit different, but at the end of the day, like, as long as you know how to play this Mario Kart game, you can probably pick up the other ones fairly well. And the same for the prior games, and especially Mario Kart DS. Mario Kart DS still feels fairly modern, but I mean, this one has the trick system and it all feels just a bit tighter. And I think just the way the Mario Kart games work moving from Mario Kart Wii and onward makes me look back at everything before this. Mario Kart DS is kind of in a weird territory, so maybe not that one, but everything before this, and I appreciate them. They're fun novelties, but I just vastly prefer how this plays and feels. But that wasn't always the case. Eventually, I kind of grew to loathe Mario Kart Wii because of how difficult it was. I was not great at this one. I found the item balancing to be way too chaotic. There were too many blue shells per race. And I didn't like how the game looked graphically. The game still looks kind of rough. Character models are really blocky. I mean, like, you even look at, like, Donkey Kong on that character select screen. Even looking at Mario, like, these characters are so polygonal. Of course, you can say the same about Mario Kart DS. I mean, like, Jesus Christ. But that, at least, you had the excuse of, like, well, it's on the DS. This is on the Wii, and Mario Kart Double Dash, in my opinion, looks better. So eventually, you know, I sold my copy of Mario Kart Wii because I had Mario Kart 7, I had 64, and Super Mario Kart on the Virtual Console. I thought, I'm not gonna need this. I'm covered Mario Kart-wise. But looking back at it and playing it in recent years, I really do love this game. I think it is a great Mario Kart. It's definitely not perfect. I wouldn't call it the ultimate Mario Kart, but it is an incredibly fun one, and I think it deserved a lot more respect from me looking back at it all. And it's still fun to this day. I think it's still incredibly fun to play through, and I think it's definitely worth your time. Unlike... Okay, that's me being a bit mean to Mario Kart 7, because Mario Kart 7 is a good game. It's a great Mario Kart, but it is a very forgettable one. It's a very skippable one. How about that? They actually introduce a ton of things here. You have the glider sections, you have the underwater sections, and you can customize your kart, which like was a cool selling point, I guess, but like in practice, it doesn't really amount to anything, really. It's not like you can really customize your kart to suit your needs the best. It pretty much, like, all the kart bodies look the same, and you can choose some sillier looking wheels for them. That's basically it. You can change your glider too, but the glider is context sensitive. It only comes out when it comes out. So it sounds like a big deal that you can customize your kart, but in practice, it doesn't really amount to much visually. I mean, like, the biggest change is, like, if you have a kart body and you put, like, the monster truck wheels on it. And I feel like it just overcomplicates the stats a little too much. Like, I do kind of like how Mario Kart World reverted back to just having normal-ass karts available. Like, you know, like, hey, you know, just pick a kart. There you go. Like, I don't dislike the customization, but I also find it to be a bit pointless at the end of the day. Like, yeah, it's cool that you can kind of mix and match your stats a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's kind of giving you this illusion that, oh man, I'm making this my very own experience, when you're changing like two things. Was definitely looking forward to playing Mario Kart 7, and I wasn't like crazy hyped for it or anything. You know, this was back in 2011. I picked up a 3DS, I believe around like August of 2011. This was right after they had the price drop go into effect, so I picked mine up for like 170 bucks. And Mario Kart 7 launched in December of that year. Mario 3D Land came out a month prior, and I was definitely more excited for Mario 3D Land, just because Mario 3D Land got all these rave reviews, and you know, I'm a sucker for, you know, the traditional Mario platformers. This seemed like a really great time. But actually, around like December of 2011, I believe I picked up Mario Kart 7 first. I had just enough money for a brand new game. I think I traded in a bunch of stuff, and I picked up Mario Kart 7. And I think my reasoning for it was Mario Kart 7 is going to be a game I can play for a much longer period of time. You know, it's just gonna be like infinitely replayable. So I just thought, like, you know what, I'm gonna do Mario Kart 7. And then I believe after Christmas, after I, you know, got more like gift cards and all of that stuff, that's when I picked up Mario 3D Land, is like right after Christmas of 2011. So either way, it all worked out in the end, and I think it made sense that I went with Mario Kart 7 first. I definitely found that this game was a lot more like properly balanced, I guess, compared to Mario Kart Wii. I wasn't like freaking out over this one like with Mario Kart Wii. And at this time, my family actually finally got Wi-Fi, so I played this one online quite a lot more than I ever did with Mario Kart Wii. I think with Mario Kart Wii, I tested it out a couple of times, but I didn't really play that one all too much. Mario Kart 7, definitely a lot more, and I sucked. But unfortunately, Mario Kart 7 was kind of in this weird space where I didn't really have anybody to play the game or talk about with. There was really nobody I knew in my friend group or at school that was playing 3DS games or Mario Kart 7 in particular. So I was kind of all by myself with this one. And yet, the thing with Mario Kart 7 is, it's good. The problem is, like, Mario Kart 8, which came out after, pretty much did, like, everything Mario Kart 7 did again, and then some, so, there's not really much reason to go back to this one. At least by comparison to Mario Kart 8, the Mario Kart 7 battle mode is fine. I think I appreciated that they, didn't go for, like, oh, teams are required in this mode anymore. But the battle mode just kind of felt like it lacked a lot of oomph, a lot of soul, honestly. So I was just like, you know, I played it a couple of times. I was definitely interested in it. But yeah, it just didn't really do much for me. Looking back, I just don't really think I give a fuck about battle mode anymore. Like, as a kid, I loved that thing. But like, in practice, I'm just like, yeah, it wasn't doing anything for me anymore. So thankfully with Mario Kart 8, this must have been the perfect game for me, because battle mode sucks in this game. Oh, Mario Kart 8. You know me, I have nothing but crap to talk about with Wii U stuff. And Mario Kart 8 was kind of like, it felt like the peak of owning a Wii U. So I got my Wii U in June of 2013. I think roughly like a little bit before E3 2013. And that was when Mario Kart 8 got its first big reveal trailer. We already knew Mario Kart was coming to the Wii U. They had the Wii U Direct in January 2013 where they said, oh yeah, we're working on a new Mario Kart and it's going to be shown and playable at E3 that year. And man, I just remember when they first revealed this game, oh my God, like, it looked amazing. Like, this genuinely looked like one of the greatest looking video games I had ever seen up to that point. The colors, the lighting, the animations, it all looked gorgeous. And that was really impressive to me, considering that Mario Kart games were never like the most graphically impressive things on the planet to me at the time. Like, Mario Kart 7 looked fine. Mario Kart Wii, I didn't like how that looked. But to see this one, like them just going balls to the wall, like, man, like this is the best looking game on its console, was really cool to see. And they introduced the whole new gimmick of this game being anti-gravity racing, which seemed like it was gonna be this crazy thing, and And you know, it might be because we've been stuck with Mario Kart 8 for so long, but yeah, I mean, it's nothing that wild. It's mostly there as a means to give the tracks the freedom to do whatever the hell you want, you know, drive on the walls, go upside down, twist and turn. Like, it's mostly a vehicle to give you some wacky ass track designs rather than something that really genuinely changes the core gameplay, you know? But damn, you know what was the roughest part of this announcement? The release date being spring 2014. At the time of this game's reveal, the Wii U was already not doing too hot, and I think it kind of needed a shot in the arm, just something kind of like what the 3DS got in 2011, where you got Super Mario 3D Land in November, and then 1 month later, you got Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8 definitely needed some more time in the oven. Just the fact that the battle mode is awful in this game shows that they kind of pushed it out the door. You know, mostly everything was like really good with this game when it launched, but you could tell they had to cut some corners there. And just seeing them say spring 2014, I'm kind of like, man, like the Wii U kind of needed that 1-2 punch of, you know, big mainline 3D Mario and then Mario Kart. And big mainline 3D Mario was still coming out in 2013 with 3D World, even though that wasn't really a big enough mainline 3D Mario to really get the Wii U back on track. But Mario Kart being a spring title, like we pretty much had to wait a full year for this game. Yeah, that was a little rough. But man, every new trailer that released for Mario Kart 8, I just thought everything looked better and better. They had a new trailer in like December of 2013. I think that one showed off like Rosalina. That was right after the Rosalina Smash Brothers for Wii U trailer, so I guess they kind of coordinated those. And then in like February of 2014, that was a trailer that showed off the Koopalings and Electrodrome. I didn't realize this until later, but that trailer showcasing the Koopalings was pretty much the trailer showing off pretty much all of the brand new characters in this game. Mario Kart 8's launch roster, like the roster of characters you had in base Mario Kart 8. Basically, the only brand new characters in the game were all 7 of the Koopalings. Like, that was pretty much their idea of like, all right, well, we'll just do 7 Koopalings and those will be all your new characters. That's pretty much the new characters in the game. Other than that, it's mostly like Mario Kart Wii's roster with a couple of characters taken out, and then all the Koopalings. Honestly, one of my favorite memories of the build-up to launch of Mario Kart 8 was kind of in like the spring or like early spring of 2014. Just like this big trailer release where they showed off some of the new items. It ended showing Rainbow Road N64 you know, was going to be in the game. And just seeing all that, and then shortly after, I just saw all this press junk just come out about Mario Kart 8, you know, interviews, podcasts, video previews on YouTube, all of this stuff. It was so damn cool. I remember like that was like my week off of school. That was during spring break, and I remember waking up. You know, I didn't have anything to do that week, so this gave me something to do. I appreciate that. Then they had that whole Mario Kart 8 Direct that came out like a month before the game's launch, and that was just like a 30-minute long, just giant line of skits. Where like they would just like pretend it was like flipping through TV channels, and they only revealed probably like, I'd say 5 minutes worth of information. This was during Nintendo's little skit era. Like a lot of their social media stuff, a lot of their Nintendo Directs had skits in them and everything. It was kind of cute, but you know, obviously like, you know, like I think they're getting a little better at just, you know, consolidating information to like, okay, this is all you really need to know. Here you go. And of course, I say that, but then Mario Kart World got a Direct like 2 weeks after the Switch 2 Direct where it got revealed, and that was the biggest waste of goddamn time I've ever seen in my life. But at least with the Mario Kart 8 Direct, I don't think they hyped that one up. It just popped up. Like, it just got uploaded to YouTube one day. That was it. So I do appreciate that. So, you know, it wasn't like, oh, stay tuned on this specific day. We're going to live stream it. And then, you know, you wake up piss early, and then there's nothing new. I'm like, am I crazy for saying Nintendo's kind of flipping us off when they do that? Why are you live streaming a Nintendo Direct when there's nothing new to say, like, in it at all? Just upload it. Just upload it randomly. Do a cold upload and just do it there. Like you did with the Mario Kart 8 Direct. You had a bunch of skits in that. And I think if you would have live streamed it, people would have been kind of annoyed. But like, you know, I think it was fine the way they did that. You know, it was also pretty crazy. The fact that Nintendo did this like Club Nintendo promotion with Mario Kart 8. If you would buy Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U and you register with Club Nintendo, you could download a free, like, actual big retail Wii U game published by Nintendo. Here in North America, we only got like 4 options. I think it was like Pikmin 3, Wind Waker HD, New Super Mario Bros. U, and Wii Party U. But then in Europe, they had like all these options. It was wild. They had so many to choose from. And looking back at that, like, that was really cool, but I do find it strange considering that, like, I feel like most Wii U owners were going to buy Mario Kart 8 anyways. I don't really know what this promotion was really doing. But I got Pikmin 3. And Pikmin 3 is one of the best Wii U games, so I'm pretty happy with that choice. I would probably go Pikmin 3, then Wind Waker HD, then New Super Mario Bros. U, and then Wii Party U. They're all fine games, but like, yeah, I think Pikmin 3 is the best option there. That's the most fully fleshed out, like, oh, it's a brand new game, and it's a Wii U exclusive, and it's really damn good. Wind Waker HD is a really damn good game, but, you know, it's a remake of a GameCube game. Then New Super Mario Bros. U, just because it's New Super Mario Bros. U, it's a fine game, but, like, who cares? And then Wii Party U, which you can have some fun with, but, like, holy crap. There has to be asterisk upon asterisk for you to warrant redeeming Wii Party U out of those 4 options. Like, do you already own all 3 of the other games? Do you have people to play multiplayer games with? Do you have people that want to play these kind of multiplayer games with? Are you a masochist? There you go, get Wii Party U. But I couldn't wait for Mario Kart 8. I remember the exact day, May 30th, 2014. This was one of the first games that I actually pre-ordered. You know, I originally pre-ordered Wii Sports Resort at GameStop back in the day, and that was a mess because I didn't know how pre-ordering worked. Then Mario 3D World, I pre-ordered that, had that delivered via Amazon, and Mario Kart 8 was the same way. I had it pre-ordered and delivered via Amazon. This was when Amazon was pretty damn good about getting games on release day, especially Nintendo games. At this time, Nintendo was playing nice with Amazon. Every now and then, Amazon and Nintendo aren't playing nice, so you can't really get a lot of Nintendo stuff on Amazon for a bit. But at least during the Mario Kart 8 era, yeah, I could pre-order Mario Kart 8, and it got delivered when I got home from school on May 30th. And I just fired it up, and I remember just sitting there in my very warm bedroom because it was May in Ohio, and my bedroom always had problems with getting really hot during the summertime. So I was sitting there really warmly in my little chair playing Mario Kart 8, and it was awesome. And this was just kind of my go-to game during that summer. I specifically have memories of like when it was like really rainy one day. I got home from work, and you know, I'm just sitting there and, you know, just playing through Mario Kart 8, playing online. You know, this made me feel normal having a go-to online multiplayer game. I felt like a normal guy. Oh man, rough day at work, slam the briefcase on the table, kick back, and play online Mario Kart. I actually really enjoyed learning the ins and outs of this game and kind of figuring out some strategies with it. You know, this game actually launched with kind of the singular item mechanic. That's something they ditched in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where you get 2 item slots in that game. But I actually really liked the strategy that forced you to have, you know, kind of thinking like, okay, like, am I going to use this item right here, or am I going to hold this because if I run into an item box, there's a chance I might get like a coin or something, and nobody wants that. Didn't play this locally all too much. There was one guy that worked at the grocery store I worked at that was a couple years older than me, and we actually bonded a lot over kind of collecting and enjoying video games, because he was a collector too, and he was like a college student at that point, and like I was in high school, so I was just like, oh boy, what a cool guy. And he invited me over with his friends at one point to check out his game collection and play a 32-track gauntlet on Mario Kart 8 because he needed a 4th player, and I really enjoyed that. I felt like a cool guy playing Mario Kart with a with a bunch of dorks. But I really appreciate that because I was a dork too, and it was cool to, you know, slowly but surely start to have people I could, you know, I could share my hobbies with. My hobby being Yeah, this fucking thing. When the DLC was announced and hit for this, like I believe in like fall of 2014, again, like it felt like things were really starting to happen as a Wii U owner. You know, November of 2014, that was when Smash Brothers came out, and you know, having Mario Kart DLC earlier in that month. And the DLC, like I have such fond memories and a huge appreciation and love for the first wave of DLC of Mario Kart 8. It was so high quality. It was so cool. I love the DLC for this game. Wave 2 didn't hit as hard for me. That was when, you know, they did the Animal Crossing track, and they also did like the 200cc free update. That wave didn't hit as well for me, but I still really appreciated it and really enjoyed just having a reason to just keep coming back to Mario Kart 8. And it just changed this game from being a really good Mario Kart to possibly the best Mario Kart. And this is before even 8 Deluxe. Of course, your main problems with this are the fact that battle mode stunk, because it did. You're battling on racetracks. Bleh. It's just not well designed. It's obvious that they had to rush something out to put battle mode in the game. But that was rough, and the fact that there isn't really any single-player content in this game at all. But other than that, I mean, like, yeah, when the DLC was all said and done, you got 48 tracks in this game. That was awesome. You know what was also cool in this game? It's Mario Kart TV functionality. The highlight reels you got in this game, oh man, those were so cool and funny and cute. I love the fact that you could kind of go like slow motion and fast motion, speed things up, go in reverse, just kind of like on the fly editing with it. I saved a fair amount of highlight reels, and they actually had some functionality where you could upload your highlight reels directly from the Wii U to your YouTube channel, which was cool. I never did that, but you know, it's cool functionality. I remember going to the bathroom with this game a couple of times, playing on the gamepad right there. I actually think the gamepad functionality in Mario Kart 8 was actually pretty all right, considering a lot of it was like, so this was your standard view with like your kart's horn and stuff, but then you have all these other options of like, you can immediately click on the map, and then you have a full view of the map, or you could click in that corner, and then boom, your gameplay is on the gamepad screen. I mean, the horn was stupid, but I did like the fact that it was so instant of like, hey, change whatever you want the gamepad to do here, and then boom, you can just play on the gamepad. I just have so many fond memories of this game. It really meant a lot to me. It was such a high quality game, and just such a fun game to just spend my time playing, you know, just kind of like kick back and kind of relax a bit with, you know. It just felt good to have kind of that go-to online multiplayer game, just that game to chip away at. And eventually that became Smash Brothers for the Wii U for me as well, you know. I think Mario Kart and Smash Brothers really helped coming out in 2014. And I just really appreciate it, as, you know, this released when I was in high school, and I just didn't have a ton going on other than going to school and going to work, and, you know, having these games release, and also just reading up on them, hearing about like any new info about them, any rumors or leaks, reports, any new news. It's just like, yeah, looking back at this era, it means a lot for me, even if not a ton was going on. So, you know, hey, I mean, I was really happy to experience Mario Kart 8, and even happier to experience it for another 10 goddamn years. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This came out like a month after the Nintendo Switch released, which really felt like a very magical time, was a very exciting time. I mean, the Switch launched with Breath of the Wild, and, you know, that did a perfect job kind of showcasing what the Switch can do. You have this immensely impressive open world game, and you can play it on the TV, but also on the go. And then just a month later, you get like the best Mario Kart game ever. I mean, like, it's Mario Kart 8, but refined a little bit, especially now with a brand new battle mode. You know what I really like here? The fact that they call it a new and improved battle mode. Pretty much saying, yeah, we know the Wii U version sucked. I was really damn excited for this one. And when it came out on April 28th, 2017, I was a little disappointed, because it kind of just set in with me right there that like, oh yeah, it's Mario Kart 8 again. Definitely the best version. I mean, like, yeah, you get all the DLC with this one. You get a couple of new characters, but for the most part, you know, it's pretty much the exact same game with the new battle mode and a couple of tweaks to the gameplay formula. You know, for example, you know, you have the 2 item slots. Boo returns as an item in the item roulette. The feather returns from Super Mario Kart, but only exclusively in the battle mode, which is interesting. Oh my god, this smart steering option is the worst. Do you ever play local multiplayer Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and then you realize like, oh god, the fucking smart steering option is on? Always happens, so annoying. And honestly, at launch, I remember the online multiplayer was spottier than the Wii U version. I remember the online multiplayer having a lot more problems than what I had with Mario Kart 8 on Wii U. Of course, now a lot of these issues have ironed out. But I remember when this game was first kind of being rumored to be Mario Kart 8 with brand new tracks and all that. No new tracks. I mean, you have the battle mode stages, and the battle mode had some pretty solid arenas in there, but most of them are kind of based on pre-existing stages from Mario Kart 8. Like, instead of Sweet Sweet Canyon, you have Sweet Sweet Kingdom. Oh boy. For some reason, when this game was launching, I was getting really excited and thinking this was going to be a game changer. And in many ways it was, because, you know, this became like one of the best-selling games of all time. But I was a little like, just kind of like, all right, you know, that's that. It's Mario Kart 8. I remember picking this game up day of, I think at Target. They were giving away like these really crappy like Rubik's Cube kind of things. There it is. Mine is still in the packaging. I remember they did this exact thing for Super Mario Maker. So I know the quality of these, and oh my god, it's awful. It is like the most like grindy little like, oh god, it's just a horrible feeling moving this around and everything. But I believe you would get this if you just buy the game or you pre-ordered it from Target. But Target was doing these things where like a lot of their little bonus little collectible things they would give away. They would also have like some of them available like in the store for like $5. So if you showed up around launch, you could probably just buy this for a pretty cheap price. This was a solid update to Mario Kart 8. Definitely made it the definitive version. But for the most part, you know, it was still Mario Kart 8. But over the years, like, they kept on updating it with random little things. Like, you know, they made the Nintendo Labo vehicle accessories compatible with this game for some reason. It's kind of cute, I guess. I think it would have been really cool if they actually enabled Nintendo Labo VR support, which would have kind of like brought this in line with like Mario Kart 7. Mario Kart 7, you know, you have the 3D effect of the 3DS, and you have the first-person mode you can do in that game by hitting up on the D-pad. So what if they kind of brought that mode back, but with Labo VR? That would have been kind of cool. I wouldn't care about it though. Like, it would be cool, but like, would I actually genuinely use it? God, no. Well, those are free updates. They also did a free update that gave Link like a Breath of the Wild costume, and then they also introduced kind of the Master Cycle Zero. So just some stuff to make it like a little more like lined up with Breath of the Wild Zelda era stuff. That was cool. It was still it kind of happened out of nowhere. But of course, I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe really got amazing with the Booster Course Pass DLC. I mean, that was just a shocker when that happened, because for a while there, everybody was saying how like, oh, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And I was in the camp that it wasn't gonna happen. Like, come on, like, there's no way. It's been long enough. It's an old-ass game. They're probably just gonna move on with a new Mario Kart. And I guess that was kind of the plan for a bit there. In developer interviews about Mario Kart World, they started work on that game as a Switch 1 title, and then they kind of like switched gears and turned it into a Switch 2 game, and that's when they were like, all right, well, probably we should do something with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that's when they started doing the DLC for this game. But yeah, 96 tracks in this game, and then they kept adding stuff. They added a whole extra feature which allowed you to do custom items in the game. Like, you can choose like, oh, I don't want blue shells in the game, or I only want blue shells in the game. They added like a whole ass music jukebox player in the game. Like, they did so much. And then they added characters to it without even saying that they were gonna add characters. They just started to do it. Yeah, incredible. Like, turn this into like genuinely the best Mario Kart. I mean, like, there are certain things that maybe other Mario Karts might do better, but by and large, I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it is a huge achievement, even if like it kind of stumbled into that achievement realm. You know, like, yeah, it has 96 tracks, but you know, like it got to that number because like a lot of happy accidents. Like, okay, it's a re-release of a Wii U game with all the DLC included, so that's how you already have 48 tracks in this game, which is more than normal Mario Kart games start with. And then in addition, they just had a bunch of tracks they could just shovel into this thing later down the line, because a lot of them came from the mobile game Mario Kart Tour, so they were just like, okay, well, let's just reuse assets and let's just juice this game the fuck up. This became kind of a very easy go-to local multiplayer game for me. Have you ever tried Mario Kart? Don't. It's a horrible drinking game. Doesn't make any sense. It's horrible. Like, we did it on Scottsdash, especially when we were in Los Angeles, but I did it prior to that, and it's too much. Finish your beer by the end of the race, but you can only drink when you're not driving. Awful. It's awful. Yeah, I did this with this one a bit, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is just kind of like a nice, easy game to kind of, you know, just like jump into. As a handheld game, it's great. I remember playing this with Sam, like on a trip, and we were on a plane ride, and that was like one of the first times that I actually did like the local wireless multiplayer, which is interesting, and it works fairly well. Yeah, I kept on voting for like Toad Circuit 3DS. Wonderful track that is. It's just awful. But yeah, I love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's probably like one of the best games Nintendo's ever released, even though it kind of became that just over a very long period of time. Mario Kart 8 was already great, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at launch was a great upgrade to that. But I'd say with the Booster Course Pass, it became genuinely like a definitive, like 10 out of 10 kind of Nintendo game. Even if it's not perfect, like the Booster Course Pass definitely has its duds in there. But man, you just can't beat what Mario Kart 8 Deluxe offers. I mean, even as a base package, I think Mario Kart 8 had one of the best starting lineups of any Mario Kart game track-wise. I love the tracks in vanilla Mario Kart 8, and the DLC tracks are great too. Booster Course Pass, I think that's how you get like a ton more flavor in Mario Kart 8, even though like the quality definitely varies there. But yeah, I mean, what an amazing video game. Let's talk about Mario Kart Tour. That's the question, ain't it? Is Mario Kart Tour a mainline Mario Kart game? I'd say kind of yes and no. I mean, it is developed by Nintendo. Just the fact that Tour is considered mainline enough to get some of its tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and also like Sky High Sunday was a Mario Kart Tour track, even though it appeared in the Mario Kart 8 Booster Course Pass first. But you know, that appeared in Mario Kart World, which, you know, I've seen a lot of theories there that like Sky High Sunday was initially designed for Mario Kart World, and then they created a lower end version to kind of like test it out in Mario Kart Tour and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because the Mario Kart World version feels like an actually like finished course, because that's the main thing with Sky High Sunday. It doesn't feel done. It feels weird. I always found like that little like railing on like those steps or something to be strange, because it acts as like a little anti-gravity boost thing, but you can just like, you literally just can drive right through it. There's no collision with it. It's weird. But hey, it was kind of a Mario Kart Tour track, and that made it to Mario Kart World. So yeah, I think Tour is mainline. I probably wouldn't consider it to be like the next major entry in the Mario Kart franchise. Rather, like, it's more of like a side game, I guess. Mario Kart Tour went up and down for me. I mean, but to be fair, like, at its peak, I think it's a cute little mobile game. It does the job. It's a fun little time waster. But for a little bit there, you know, like when it first came out, I was not very impressed by it. But for some reason, like, I just decided to try it out again, like a week after I tried it for the first time, and I was like, no, I don't want this. And I tried it again, and I kept playing it. Like it's something where like Mario Kart Tour is something where I'd kind of just get back into it and just play it more consistently for like a week or two there, like a handful of times. But do I have any genuine great memories with it? No. Maybe when I went to like the pipe mini game and I got like a cool character here and there. I don't even remember. I'm like, oh wow, I definitely got a couple of cool ones, I guess, but like, I don't care. In the end, I don't hate Mario Kart Tour, but, you know, it's definitely it's definitely just Mario Kart Tour. Who cares about it? Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, I think I've played maybe twice at this point. I played it at my old apartment with Sam and Eric one day, and that was kind of funny. But that was like for like an hour maybe, and that was that. I definitely have more space here, and I have hardwood floors, so you know, I could probably do it. But Mario Kart Live Home Circuit is definitely more of like a little toy. It's fun if you want to do something silly with it, but like, yeah, I mean, it's whatever. Played some of the arcade games. Mario Kart Arcade GP DX is at the local Dave & Buster's. The thing with the arcade games is that they are so unmemorable. They're cool, but it is definitely kind of like a thing where you're in an arcade setting and you see Mario Kart and you're like, oh, wow, Mario Kart. And you sit down and try it out and you're like, oh, yeah, that was cool. And then you get up and you walk away and you never really think about it again. That's just how the arcade games are for me. Cool, but definitely just not something that I'm really thinking about much at all, other than the fact that, like, oh yeah, the arcade Mario Karts, those exist. But that's pretty much it. I mean, those are my Mario Kart memories. You know, it is kind of like a very basic little retrospective of the full series at this point, but yeah, I mean, Mario Kart is all reliable, man. It's always great to look back at all of my memories that I have with all of these games, and I have them associated with all of them, even if some of them are just kind of like a little basic or lame. Who cares? Like, yeah, I mean, I look back at all these games, and I have a fondness for each and every one of them, even the duds. So thank you, Mario Kart, for bringing back repressed memories of sucking on my big toe as a 6-year-old.